Hello, everyone, and welcome to It's Gonna Get Artsy. My name is Julia Genoveva, and I am here with my co-host.
Gus Ferrari.
So this is our second episode, which we're so excited about, and I am here with the production team, the theater production team of Fresh Kills, a play written by Sarah Congress, directed by Monica Hoyt, and the cast is Elizabeth Wright Williams, Elizabeth Wright-Williams as Isabella, and Blake Williams as Michael. Thank you, everyone, so much for being here. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Great. Happy to
Very
be
well.
here.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us on, Julia and Gus.
Hey.
Of course. Our show is all about just shining a spotlight on what everyone is doing in off-Broadway theater. And I know you've all been so busy with rehearsals and tech, so we really appreciate you taking the time to be here with us today. So first of all, I'd like to know about the play Fresh Kills. Sarah, what inspired you to write this play? I would love to just hear more about that.
Yeah, so Fresh Kills used to be called COVID-19 Bachelor Number 5, and then it got into the 2021 Downtown Urban Arts Festival at the Abrams Arts Center. And I think about 6 people came. It was a huge off-Broadway theater and lots of money and funding, but it was during the pandemic. So
Oh my
like,
God.
it's like it was this gigantic theater and no one sat near each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the name was changed because Reggie Gaines, who like has a Tony and is brilliant, is one of my mentors, and he was like, "This name sucks." But I was like, "How about this, Fresh Kills?" Because that's a stop on the Staten Island ferry. And he
Mhm.
was like, "If you do it in all caps." So,
Wow.
yeah, that's this play, and yeah, it's gonna be at the Love Festival at the Players Theater. And it's had some readings. I had some reading with Naked Angels LA, and I had a reading with the Team Theater over the pandemic. So this will be
Okay.
the second New York production.
Wow, amazing. Well, congratulations, first of all. And I can see that it's evolved and it's had like a long process. So that's great that you're, still continuing to work on it and still
No,
continuing.
I'm not making any edits. I do absolutely nothing. I would say the people that do work are the director and actors and producers. I haven't touched the script in like 3 years. I
Oh,
I just was
wow.
invited as a courtessy.
Just because,
So,
you
so
wrote it, no big deal.
They were just like,
you're
Sarah
one of
doesn't
these.
have a lot of plans on Saturday. Let's have her talk about a script she wrote a few years ago.
You're one
Um,
of these laid back writers that if some actor makes a change, you'll be like, I like it. Okay, leave, keep it, or
I'll just forget. I write a lot, so I'll just forget what the original line was and be like, oh yeah, that was great.
okay. That was in
um,
the script. Okay.
yeah, that happens to me too as a writer, because and Gus too, we're both playwrights. And sometimes, we write something and it's not like we forgot about it, but we have other projects, so we kind of put it away. And then when I'm hearing it, I'm like, oh wow, I didn't realize that that was there, or it's because of the actors who are so great that are just able to bring something out of that, or
Oh, for sure. Like the best part of writing is that you get to have actors be like, yeah, you started at a 2. I'm gonna take it to a 12. Like, because
Yeah.
that's what I
yeah.
do. I'm an actor. Yeah. We as writers are very graced by having fantastic actors. And these 2 actors, let me just say, we've been at the Players Theater together before. My show Dracula in Denver was there, and they were in this hilarious play. It was like so funny. And I was
Oh
like,
my
these 2
God.
guys are so warm, so kind, so
Hmm.
funny. I was really impressed. And then, as fate would have it, Monica would cast them in this production. And I just want to say, from the
Wow.
bottom of my heart, these are 2 extremely talented actors to keep an eye out for.
Okay, great. So how,
Definitely.
Monica, so how did you come on board on this production?
Let's see. Well, just to take it back a few months, so I kind of set the intention to want to work with a woman playwright because I've only worked with men in the
Hmm.
past 10 years I've been directing. And so when I saw Sarah's production at a recent festival in the summer, and I don't think we got to meet then, but then we both did plays in the International Human Rights Arts Festival earlier this year. And I decided, okay, I really want to just go and see her play. And then we sat down together and then received the invitation to do Fresh Kills, which I was thrilled about.
Wow. So I feel like everything just like fell into place naturally and this wonderful collaboration happened. So that's, when things happen that way without being forced, I think that's pretty amazing.
And also,
So,
the tank was amazing that show happened because that was the worst rain I've ever seen in my life. It was December 10th. And I just thought I also teach, and one of my comedy writing students came in from New Jersey, and I was like, are you gonna like make, I live in New Jersey too, but I was like, are you gonna make it back? Like, are we gonna need to get you a kayak? It was the worst. I don't remember my play. I don't remember anybody else's play. I just remember the torrential rain
oh, wow.
and just like fear sending my like early 20s pupil to Penn Station. Like, should I go with her? Like, is this
So this happened when you and Monica met? Like, it was.
This happened Sunday, December 10th, which was one of the big nights of the Tank Festival. The
Oh, okay, got it.
And the theater was packed. The theater was sold out. And I was like, this is a testament to the Tank Theater because it was the worst rain. Like, I'm still scared. I'm like, look, is it gonna happen again? Like, it was the worst rain I've ever seen.
Oh my God. And I'm surprised they were packed.
It was packed. Not again. Like, right. There was no seats. There
were no seats left, which
there
was
was no
amazing.
seats
It's
left.
an amazing festival to be a part.
Maybe they didn't come to see the festival. They just tried to get out of the rain. We didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
It's impossible, but let's go with the other option that they really came to see it.
We could go with that as well.
Yeah. And I've been at the Tank. They have so many great shows going on there. I performed there last December. So yeah, it's a beautiful space and they have a lot of like innovative productions, which is really cool. So Monica, as far as like the rehearsal, so let me kind of go back a little bit. Like, what was the casting process like? How did you select the actors? And then like, what has the rehearsal process been like as well?
Let's see. Well, like Sarah mentioned, I ended up at that festival, the Short Play Festival at the Players Theater, I think because another friend of mine was in that. And so I just decided that it would be much easier to cast actors that I have seen already in action.
Yeah.
Sometimes I cast through Backstage, which is a bit more challenging, right? Of a process. Like, I haven't seen them, right? So I've really made an intention the past I guess 6 months is when there are festivals, I go because I want to see them. Yeah. Because some actors are wanting to be in film and they're not able to project their voice in a theater. So that can happen as well. So that's how the casting process went. I was there. Oh yeah, I wanted to see Sarah's play. That's what it was. I had worked with her in the summer and I said, oh yeah, that's right. I was following her on Instagram and I saw that she was doing Dracula in Denver.
She was at a show that I only came to see one night and she was there when I wasn't there.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's right. We were going to try to meet there.
And then I was like, I'm on the shore, which is like this common line that I just say because I often am on the shore. If it's sunny, I'm on the shore.
That's awesome, by the way.
Yeah, I'm just a Jersey girl.
Yeah, we're like putting all the pieces together of how we all met and how, we proceeded.
I love the connection. So were rehearsals done like virtually, or did you meet in person, or was it like a combination?
Well, honestly, because it was winter and COVID and Elizabeth got COVID, I was like, okay, I think we're going to meet on Zoom and the reason it worked was because they're in the same space together. So we could easily do the blocking. I said, well, I'm the only one who's not in the room. So it worked fine for me. They have a nice community room they were able to work in. And actually, they have a lot of space in their apartment. So I learned that that's the advantage of casting people that live in the same place.
And also, most importantly, Elizabeth is well. She looks beautiful, and she does not have COVID anymore.
I'm free.
Most importantly, the health of our beautiful actress is the most important thing. And she's smiling at us in a Zoom box right now.
I've revived. I've recovered.
Gus,
I had it twice. So
yeah.
That was my second time too. So
yeah. No, I was curious, like, because you said to Monica that you only work so far with male playwrights. and you wanted to do a play by female playwright, I guess. I mean, is there have you found a difference either in like the material or say finding yourself more being able to relate specifically more to what a woman writes, or because I'm right now I'm writing I'm directing something that Julia wrote with 2 women in it. There's no mention of a man in that whole thing, but I you know, it's I find it that I just, you know, focus on the emotional content and the performances as technically as a director, but it doesn't affect me much. What about you?
No, I don't think it affected me because a good playwright is a good playwright. And
Right.
I've been, lucky and fortunate to work with good playwrights that have written very compelling scripts. And actually, the playwright that I work with most often is an older gentleman, and he writes for women. And I'm surprised he can do it so well.
Right.
But I think like working with the woman, first of all, I guess it's important for me to give as women to get our voices out there, get our presence out there more.
Okay. That's good. Yeah, that's excellent, you know, and the fact that it to me it's like, you know, about enjoying the material, you know, and the writing. And yeah, if it touches you, if you can relate to it in a certain way and really get into it, that makes your job a lot easier as a director. Yeah. You know.
So to switch gears a little, I want to give everyone a synopsis of this play because I am like, it's so intriguing and I'm like biting my fingernails. So it's Fresh Kills by Sarah Congress. Isabella and Michael recently matched on a dating app and are going on their very first date. Oh my God. However, the date is during the COVID-19 pandemic, which Sarah mentioned earlier, and things are going well, but Isabella, a Democrat, learns that Michael is a liberal Republican. Will they make it to Staten Island in one piece? Oh my God, I am like dying to find out.
Don't know. We don't. The playwright leaves it open. We don't know if they make it to the shore.
So
They could still be there right now.
It's the rain.
Yes, so Elizabeth and Blake, tell us about these characters and like what you love about these roles, and like, you know, because you're rehearsing together, you are a married couple. So just the whole dynamic of rehearsing and working together, like what has that been like?
But wait a minute. First, tell us about yourselves, you know, and then your characters.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Well, my name's Elizabeth, as you know, and I'm originally from South Dakota. I moved to New York City about over 12 years ago and have been acting professionally ever since. I don't know what else to say about myself. You go, Blake.
Okay. I'm Blake Williams, and I as you said, I play Michael in the short, and I'm originally from Montgomery, Alabama. Similar to Elizabeth, moved from a long way to pursue a dream. You know, I got accepted into a drama school here in the city and studied for a couple years, and then, you know, signed with a manager and started auditioning, and I've just been doing it ever since. And I love it. And, you know, a little bit of everything. And what's been exciting for me is just doing all the different types of genres of work. You know, I started out doing a lot of Shakespeare and straight theater, no musical stuff at the beginning, and then more recently, and then I did film and TV as well, and then a little bit of that, and then most recently, though, it's been fun for me because I got to do more of a musical type project, and then even more recently an immersive show. So it's been an interesting journey, you know.
Yeah, and I'm a musical theater major,
Yeah.
and Blake is like a very straight play Shakespeare, like he mentioned. So we're very like opposite spectrums, but I feel like it gels. Like Shakespeare and musical theater kind of go with the like lyrical like kind of versions of the wording. So it gels, but I feel like that's what makes working together so fun, is because we have these different backgrounds, we have this different training, and to gel it together opens up so many new ideas and like how to do things and to play off of each other. So it's an interesting, and we're also married. So there's that dynamic that's involved, but we're not like a package deal. Like, honestly, we've been doing a lot of shows together very recently in the last like year or so, but we've been together 7 years, and it's just been this, yeah, we haven't done anything until like this past year together.
Wow,
Mhm.
amazing.
That's
You
been fun.
both sound extremely talented, and like you're busy and doing a lot of projects. So congratulations.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
And a lot of different things. And I think that those
Yeah.
differences are bringing you together and to collaborate together too. So that's
sure.
really, really great. So yeah, I'm really happy for you guys.
Thank you.
So
the
your
second-
characters, what's up?
Our
Yes.
characters. Our characters. So I play Isabella, and she's kind of like a free spirit, a little bit sexy, a little bit flirty. I think she's really confident, or at least comes across confident. But in this show, you kind of see different sides to her, and like she's in a transitional period, which I think 2020 for a lot of people, they were thrown into a transitional period, and she's a victim of that, like we all experience. And so I think it's kind of her learning how to become her and what she embodies and what she wants in life and who she wants and who she is. And so she kind of goes on a bit of an unexpected journey through not accidentally being on a date with someone who ends up being a liberal Republican, and she doesn't realize that out the gate. So there's like that whole storyline that makes it very interesting. What is that going to mean for them and their compatibility that they already clearly have? So no spoilers, but
Yeah.
Okay,
So
no spoilers. No.
when the play starts, it starts on the ferry. Like you guys are on there together, right?
yeah, we're like meeting up on the ferry.
Wow, wow. And then through talking, I guess that's how you find out about your different political views. So it's like a big
Except for that.
deal. Wow. But Elizabeth, I do agree with you about 2020. I think most people, it was like a time of self-reflection, like questioning, like, is this what I want or is this what I don't want? I think at that year too, a lot of people like had quit their jobs or like moved out of New York, really like reevaluating like what they were doing. So I think it's great that your character touches on that, because it's still relevant now. People are still doing that because I think the pandemic kind of like brought that out in everyone. So Isabella sounds like a really wonderful character. So Blake, what about you? Please tell us about your character.
Yeah, so Michael is kind of a young professional type, guy in New York City. You see him all over the city. I am one of them too, so I get it. And initially you meet him, and he's just kind of your run-of-the-mill. He seems like your run-of-the-mill nice guy. He's a bit awkward, right? You can tell that he's for whatever reason, he's on edge, right? And then as the play progresses, as many have alluded to already, so I probably don't even need to repeat it, but then you find out why he's so awkward in this situation. And it's because he's probably done this before. He's matched with many people in the city, and it's a predominantly liberal community, and he's probably had some tough experiences, like trying to explain why he thinks the things that he does. And I should say, it's fun to play. I love playing characters who are different from me personally, and he is quite different from me in many respects. And so it's been fun to tackle that. But he is a good guy, and I was very intrigued by the script for that reason, is that it portrayed this. That's what good writers are able to do, is they're able to portray characters that many people might not like, or who we may question their viewpoint on life, and yet good writing will allow us to sympathize. And I got that from her script, and I was like, wow, this is cool. And you just don't see a lot of playwrights dipping their toe into that in that specific way right now. And that's not me criticizing the community or anything. It's just me saying a fact. There's a lot of people out there that are just not willing to go down that road of portraying characters of different ideologies in a more sympathetic light. And she does a great job with navigating that minefield, because it is a minefield right now still, So,
Which
yeah,
kind
I
of
thought it
takes
was
me to
great.
my question, like liberal Republican is what I smoke weed and abortion is okay, but I'm not a white
Yeah.
nationalist or something. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so
That makes sense. Okay. Yeah.
he dives into it a little bit, but he distances himself from without going too far into it, but he distances himself from the far right
Right. Okay. Get it.
contingency. And he does it in a very honest and transparent way while still articulating his
Right.
sincere feelings for Isabella in a
Right.
very poignant moment, I would say, actually. So yeah, it's very well done, you know,
Cool.
which is nice as an actor to have that.
I think Blake, what you said is it's really, you know, those are one of the great things of being an artist. And Sarah, you know, big kudos to you of like talking about characters that maybe we don't like or we don't connect to, but still like, you know, bringing them out into the world for people to see and may or may not connect with them. So I think, you know, the art is so diverse. We can, especially as actors and writers, you know, we can create all these people and tell a story and just and kind of express like the sentiment of the world at this time, you know. So that's really great. And I love that your characters are total opposite. And people may pick a side, like, well, I really like Isabella. Well, I'm kind of leaning towards Michael, or you know, or maybe I don't like one of them, but I get it, you know. So I think it's really great that this play touches on that. That's really wonderful.
Thank you.
Well, I have a nerd actor question for actors. Is it for both of you? Is it easier or harder? Let me rephrase that. How do you find it to reach a place of vulnerability with someone that knows you intimately? You know, like as an actor, you know, you sometimes you have to tap into places of your personality or of yourself that sometimes you feel more comfortable in front of a director that doesn't know you or another actor that doesn't know you. I find it that way. It's a little hard for me to open up as an actor and like give it all, you know, with when a friend is directing me or my girlfriend is directing me, you know, and I don't know why that is, but sometimes with a total stranger, I'm able to open up myself to more choices. How do you guys find that?
That's a really interesting question. I often like wondered before we had ever acted together what that would be like as a couple who knows each other in and out. How would we be acting together? How would that work? And for us, and at least for me, speaking to my experience, I think it's been pretty seamless. I think Blake and I both understand each other as partners, of course, but we understand each other as actors and artists. And we understand there's boundaries there, and we understand like what this art means to each of us individually. And when we're in the room together, we are two actors. We kind of, at least for me, I kind of put the marriage couples thing aside. And I'm like, he's my scene partner. And this is my scene partner. And I work with him like I would any other scene partner. And I think we're able to do that just because we have created great boundaries around what acting together and acting in general means to us. Of course, that's just speaking to my experience. So I'll kick it to you if you have anything to add.
Yeah, I mean, I think you did a great job of explaining how that works, because I think a lot of people are often curious about how you navigate that in a creative forum, right? It's kind of a strange thing well, for a lot of people, it's a strange thing to take on. But I think the other component to your question that's intriguing as well is, you know, how do you emotionally access true feelings in front of strangers and in front of people that you know, or conversely, people that know you way too well, right? And I think what it is it's just keeping your inner life very rich as a person. I think, you know, going out and living and focusing on your own life as a person that has nothing to do with arts, I think that's the answer, right? Like, you need to have a very rich experiential tapestry from which to create your work. And if you don't, then you're just somebody reciting lines on a stage.
Right. And I feel like there's also a
Right.
lot of trust
Yep.
between us, which is kind of built in. It's kind of the advantage of being a couple. And we
Mhm.
just have a lot of trust and we feel safe with each other. So I don't feel like if I have to do a difficult scene or say a really nasty things to him, things I would never say to him in real life, we can do that and understand there's a safety, there's a trust there where
Yeah.
we can bring that out in each other. And I think that's very important. And, you know, good writing also helps. It like
Mhm.
is guiding you. And this script is, when you read it, it seems simple, but when you dive into it, it's deep. And I feel like it brought out a lot. I mean, we're a couple, we also met on a shady dating app. So we were like, we can relate to this.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, we both come from backgrounds, we come from red states. So we're very, like, half of our family members are those liberal or just plain old Republicans, and we're more liberal. And so we can see both sides of the story. So we have that as well as actors. So we are doing, hopefully, bringing that all to the table here.
Yeah.
And bringing in our experiences. And so it's been really fun to act together and try
Cool.
new things, you know, and it's great. It's been awesome.
No. And I mean, to going back on that is like, I think it's just being able to get in the room with your scene partner and put the work at the top of the list for that period of time, and really just working as you would with, like she said, with anybody else, you know, like just really honed in on the script and trying to take on those circumstances as though they are your own in that scene, you know?
Because I'll tell you like a quick story. Like I know one time I was asked to audition for a part that I already basically had, but the director was a very good friend of mine, and I go there, and you know her and her husband are watching me, and I'm supposed to do this monologue, and I blanked out. I don't know why, but I totally like it was just my friend watching me, you know, act or something, and it was really hard. But then I got cast. And she directed me. We got along fine, but I don't know why that happened. But it's always a curious thing to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird balance between personal relationship and professional relationship. So I totally get that, because you're like, are you going to judge me more because you know me
Right?
and you know what I like
something,
can
you
do
know.
or can't do? But yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I definitely I think for Gus and I, because we do work together, not all the time, but you know, a lot of times, and we kind of are the same way. Like when we're working, whether it's acting, producing, directing, we're like, okay, now we're this, you know, we're actors, or now like, well, he's the director, or I'm the player, you know, and we kind of separate and keep things very professional and very like in harmony and everything. So it's great that you have developed that skill to do that and can still, you know, express your artistry and your talent. So Monica, what was your vision for this play, the direction of the play and directing these very professional and talented actors? What was your vision for this play?
Yeah, so like they were saying, it seems simple, but it's actually very deep what happens in this play. And that's a testimony to Sarah and her writing, how she can deliver a fun romantic comedy and also have a deep message for humanity to see and experience. So we focused, you know, pretty much on, you know, collaborating on bringing these characters to life, you know, the romantic aspect, the comedic aspect, you know, and focusing on timing, you know, because timing and how lines are delivered is very important in comedy. And also being aware of mannerisms and body language also says a lot. You know, they're on a first time date, so really made an intention to honor those awkward pauses that can often happen on a first date.
Mm-hmm.
And
Um,
oh, go ahead.
no, please continue.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, and also, it's really important for me to always keep in mind what the characters want, because that motivates a lot. Like, what do you want in this beat change? You know, and then that'll inform, you know, the movement, how lines are delivered, the mannerisms.
Great. And I'm just curious, this question just came up as, you were explaining your vision. Was there a note that you maybe said like try to avoid this or not, like something that you were, I don't know, that just question just popped in my mind right now.
I don't know. I'd have to think about that. I guess again, it's just keeping focus on what they want in each beat and
Okay.
just really moving from there. Like
Yeah.
right now, they're just getting to know each other. So what's your body language like? How far away do you stand? And then, so really creating a visual of how people are far apart and then using the blocking to gradually bring them closer together to, I don't want to give it away, but do they stay together? Do they go far? But, working with that.
No, yeah, I totally agree. Like physicality and just like knowing your intention, and also like what I'm getting is that, listening and reacting to each other. That's acting, all of those things, among many others. It's really, really important. So thank you for
the
telling us about your
multi-layer process. Yeah, the multi-layer process of, just memorizing a script to, okay, now the next layer, what do you want? How do you feel? How do you express that in your body and your mannerisms, physical
Yeah.
I like a lot.
And I think it's great that you have like, what you want as a director, because I know that from the standpoint of being an actor, that's great when you're like, well, this is my vision, and you are articulated so clearly. So I think it's great that you really know like the direction that you want for this play. So that's really, really wonderful.
And well, for
Yeah,
Sarah,
and
what
it's also,
sorry.
I
Go
was
ahead.
saying, and it's also collaboration too, right? Because they're living and breathing these individuals.
Totally.
Yeah. Go ahead, Gus.
So yeah, for Sarah, but so what direction did you want? Did you wanted to integrate the COVID into the politics, into the couple dynamics, or you wanted to make it more about one thing?
I never have a vision for my plays. I write television and plays, and then I just send them for other
Send
people
them.
to breathe life into them. I'm definitely minimalist, but like I just know that, especially these two incredibly talented actors, we don't have to do too much. Like they're gonna take it from there.
Yeah.
But I actually never have, which is what makes me a terrible podcast person. And I've been on several of these, especially at Playwrights Horizon when they
just let
did
the actors
Overdose.
do
I like
and
had
the
nothing to say. They're like, "Was this your vision?" I was like, "I'm not a visual person. Like, I just hear the dialogue," and I was like, "Sure, let's see what happens." But I don't direct. I'm so hands off.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's it's a way of working. I mean, there's no right or wrong way of like, so some people hate writers that put I'm guilty. I put a lot of exclamation points and bolds and stuff. She yells at me for that. But some writers are just like, let the actors and the director discover whatever.
Yeah, I think the only thing I ever try to say in any of my plays or TV or short films is that like if I could just, while I'm here on earth, remind people not to judge people too quickly and remember that we're all three-dimensional people. I am a very into meditation and Buddhism, and I just try to bring with humor so it's more digestible. I just try to remember like, hey, this is also a person with blood pulsing through their veins, and we don't know where they came from, and like let's all just be a little more patient, have a little more tolerance. But you can still be funny, and like life is hilarious. Like, but you can also see the moments, the most humanity in the world on the New York City subway. Like, good God, if you ever have a
Totally.
dream about humans' capacity for love and good, just ride the subway for like one day.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my
It's like, and which is I really respect that, because again, I don't want to talk about me, but I can
How about you guys? It's your podcast too.
I hate plays that beat you over the head with like a certain agenda or whatever, and they're like you might as well just make a speech about it. Don't write a play, because what's if you're just gonna use the actors as a way of like just say what you want to say because nobody's listening to you, then that is really not, I don't know. It's lazy writing in my opinion, but
And Sarah, I think that's such a beautiful message because, I think nowadays it's so easy to like create this divide with people, like, well, you're on this side or I'm on this side, and you said this and now like like you're blacklisted or something. But it's important to remember that like kindness really goes a long way, and just like saying hello to someone or good morning, like you never know, that could completely like brighten somebody's day. So yeah, and I think that may be part of the message of your play. I don't know if it is, but it's about kind of like accepting each other, even though we don't agree. Is that sort of where like the theme of the play is?
Yeah, and I think it's about a lot of, that is pretty much the theme of most of my work, even my silly vampire shows. It's just like, yeah, like just we need to have more compassion for each other.
Agree.
End of story.
So what's the future of Fresh Kills? Are you going to do more productions or maybe a short film? I don't know. It sounds like it could have potential for other vehicles. Are you thinking of continuing to put it out there?
No, I just like apply to things, and if it wins, great. I don't really have a plan. I'm working on my full-length play, Cancel Ride, which is late to 2 directors. And I am working on another 2-minute film with Karen Whitman, who lives on the shore. Our film, I Can't Hear You, actually plays second in the AP&3 Film Festival. And I do write television as well. I'm most known for my Maisel spec script, Shabbat Blessings for the Baguette, which got me on the other coast for a little bit for some meetings. But no, I don't really have like a plan. If someone saw this and was like, hey, you want to like do this, I would be like, yes, but I'm very excited about my full length, and like, I don't really have plans. Like, as much as I love planning what I'm going to make for the week, like food wise, like what soup am I going to make? Like, what are we going to do? Like, which gym class am I going to, I like get very passionate about that kind of planning, but like planning for some 10-minute play that who knows. So I'm just like, I give that to the ethers.
Yeah, I think that's great that you are just so natural. Like, I mean, I think you're naturally busy right now with a lot of projects, which is really cool.
It sounds like you two are as well. You're running a podcast and have like a show at the Secret Theater, which is a very nice festival.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I love being there. This is my 3rd time there. I was there once last year as an actor, and then I love the experience. I love Brian and everyone else. And then I'm like, well, I'm gonna submit a play, which I did. Gus was in it. So, as soon as these submissions were open, I'm like, I told Gus, I'm putting my play Sisters, do you want to direct it? And then I'm directing 2 other plays too, which is really great. Plays that I didn't write. So it's been like such a wonderful ride. I really have loved it a lot.
And just good people. Just like, it's also just nice that you're like, oh, my play's in a festival with like some other good people. And like, you start to recognize the people's faces, and it's like, oh, this is nice. Like,
yes, a lot of my friends are in it, either directing or acting. So that's another thing on my calendar too. I'm like, okay, today's this show. Because I want to support them too. Because I know how much hard work it takes as a director, as a playwright, as an actor to, put a play out there. So I have those dates on my calendar. I'm gonna go definitely and support them. So then this is a festival. It's called the Love Festival, and there are other plays. So what is like the lineup? How many other plays are part of it? And what is the running time of Fresh Kills within that?
I could jump in. So I think we're in a section with 5 other plays. We're the first ones to perform, which, okay, start off strong, hopefully.
Wow.
Yeah, and the runtime, I mean,
and then you have to wait for the mass curtain call, like, for 2 hours, right?
Luckily these are short plays, so hopefully no more than an hour. But yeah, we're with 5 other probably amazing plays. We've done this festival with the theater, the Players Theater, twice last year. They have different versions of it, and it's always been an amazing time. The runtime for our play is, I mean, I feel like we're around 10, 11 minutes. Is that right?
Okay.
I think that was around the time.
I remember.
Yeah, it depends on how long our awkward pauses end up being, I think. But, so yeah, that's the gist of the festival.
It sounds like it's going to be fun, and there's going to be a lot of different types of stories. So it sounds really cool. So I want to give all the viewers the schedule so you guys buy your tickets right away because they're opening very soon. So Fresh Kills by Sarah Congress, directed by Monica Moyd, with Blake Williams as Michael, Elizabeth Wright-Williams as Isabella. You have got to check out these amazing actors. The Players Theater.
However.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Give them all the info. Or let them give the links and all that. And
yeah, I'll post it all in the description of this video. The Players Theater Short Play Festival, and the theater is in 115 MacDougal Street, NYC. So like I said, it is opening very soon. Please get your tickets right away. February 22nd through the 24th. So that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 7 p.m. And then the final performance, it's at 3 p.m. February 25, Sunday. You do not want to miss it. You're going to go back in time a little bit with a 2020 COVID-19. But hey, you know, who doesn't like a trip down memory lane? And I believe there is a code. You can get $10 off with the code CAST, C-A-S-T in caps. So I am so excited for you guys. Gus, did you have something you wanted to add?
No, that's it. It was great talking to you guys, and you know, you give us a lot to think about, really.
Yeah, yeah, I think the audience is gonna leave with a lot to think about and a lot to think about how they interact with others. So I think it's a comedy, but there's like a deeper meaning there, which I love those kind of plays. Thank you so much for being with us today. I really appreciate you taking time out of your very busy schedules. Gus and I wish you a very successful run with many people in the audience. I'm going to post all the information and the link below. So this episode will be streaming on my YouTube channel, Julia Genoveva, Genoveva Productions. Click on subscribe to get notifications of upcoming episodes, which will be every 2 weeks. Thank you so much, everyone, and enjoy your day.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thanks.
you for having me.
Yeah.
Julia. Thank you, Gus.
Yeah.